my Infect Youth, I just wanted to share a little something with you guys. So if you were at our service Wednesday night, you saw Jake do a little experiment for us. He put Mentos in Diet Coke. And do you remember what happened? I'll show you if you don't.
It didn't work.
So there was this reaction that happened between the Mentos and the Coke, and things just they're pretty messy. They were a little crazy. And as I was thinking about that, I was just reminded about how in our life, sometimes there's moments where we feel shaken up. And last night we were in small group, or through worship, we were talking about how life has been so different for us lately, how things have been changing. And sometimes it makes us feel a little bit shaken up, like we lost control. And it's kind of scary. And in those moments, in those seasons, the littlest things can make us have this chemical reaction, right? Your sibling does something to annoy you and you start yelling at them, you get angry at them, you throw something at them, you punch them, whatever. Hopefully that hasn't happened to you, but I know in my life there's seasons where just the littlest things cause me to have this big reaction, and it's never really a good thing. It's always a bad thing. And as I thought about that, I was just reminded about how in those moments we choose to let those little things really get to us and to cause us to react. But God actually wants to bring us peace. He's like the thing that settles us down, right? So I was just reading the other day in Psalm 46, and I just wanted to share some of that with you. It starts out by saying, God, you're such a safe and powerful place to find refuge. You're a proven help in time of trouble, more than enough, and always available whenever I need you. I mean, isn't that so cool? Like, there's a song I've been listening to lately, and it says, you're not struggling to hear me. And just how God's always listening, right? He's always available, always there. Just, woo, so good. Then verse 2 says, so we will never fear, even if every structure of support were to crumble away. We will not fear, even with the earth quakes and shakes. When there's a pandemic, moving mountains and casting them into the sea. For the raging roar of stormy winds and crashing waves cannot erode our faith in you. Erode is like making it go away, like land erodes, like it vanishes, right? So nothing's going to erode our faith in God. Even a pandemic, even political discussions. If we are finding security in God, then nothing has to erase our faith. Our peace is completely in Him. I was reminded of this time a few months ago. I was in the office and I was deflating some balloons, right? And they were looking all gnarly because the pressure was getting to them. And as I took scissors and like cut it, and it just like the air just flowed out. And when there was that releasing of the pressure, everything was okay again. And sometimes in our life, we need to release things so that the Lord can bring healing and take that pressure away. Because that pressure, when it just builds up inside, things just aren't right. When we release those things, He's able to bring just this smoothness, this calmness to us. And it's just really, really amazing. So let's read the end of Psalm 46. And in verse 10, it's God actually speaking. So he tells us, anyone who would listen, surrender your anxiety. Be silent and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. I am the God above all the nations, and I will be exalted throughout the whole earth. He's God everywhere, in every season, which is pretty cool. It was interesting to me that it said surrender your anxiety, because I think so often fear is a choice. We're choosing to think about the worst that could happen. What if this goes wrong? What if this person thinks this about me? What if I fail at this? It's the worst case possible. But instead, why can't we just live in the present, knowing that God is with us, that He's made us in His image, and just live out that purpose that He has for us. We don't have to think of the worst case scenarios all the time. It's good to plan ahead, but it's it's harmful when we're always thinking of the future constantly and always thinking the worst. It's never good for us. So surrender your fears. And then the end of it says, here he stands, the commander. The mighty Lord of angel armies is on our side. The God of Jacob fights for us. That's you and me. Anyone who calls himself a follower of Jesus. He promises to be with us. And who better to be on your team? Who better to be on your side than the one who made this world, who can win every battle over death, over sickness, over it all. Who better to be on your team than that kind of God? And how amazing that he is with you, that he is available to you anytime. So my last encouragement to you would be, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling shaken up, go to him and spend time with him. This morning, I was having a rough time. I really didn't want to get out of bed, honestly. I didn't want to start my day, and I ended up doing it eventually. And I journaled a little bit about some things I was feeling and thinking through, and then I just had worship music on, and all I really did was just sit and listen. But I was just so overwhelmed that, in a good way, that God is near, and that, well, like the song I was telling you earlier, that was the one I heard this morning, that he's not struggling to hear me. And another part says, like, I'm not striving to be seen, right? God sees me and he hears me and he knows me and he's with me. So that is the thing that helps to calm me in those moments. So when you start to feel like the pressure is building in your life, don't let the little things get to you. Go spend some time with God and let him settle it all by just sitting with him. Put worship music on. Read scripture. Read Psalm 46 or whatever. Or just sit with God while you share with him what's going on in your life. Or journal. That always helps me. But get with him, and being with him, it changes everything. So I love you guys. I hope that you can do that and find some peace in your life from the Lord. He wants that for you.